I have a 1-year-old baby girl named Lily. She's my world. My mom told me she would help take care of her while I work, and I felt so relieved. I trusted her because she promised. 5 years ago, when I got married, my husband and I had no home. We lived in a rented room, dreaming of owning our own house one day. But houses were expensive, so we made a plan. We decided to save up and buy a small home first. Later, we could sell it and get something bigger. But my mum didn't like our plan. She insisted we should buy a big house right away. However, we didn't have the money for that, so we stuck with our plan. 2 years later, I found out I was pregnant. I shared the news with my husband, and we were both so happy. We had saved enough for a small house, but my mum said, "Don't buy a small one, get a bigger one and I'll help you." She promised to help with the payments, and even my husband's parents would pitch in. It sounded perfect. I was so grateful. We bought the big house, and it was an exciting time. I was 9 months pregnant, and my husband was busy painting Lily's room. Lily was born, and she was so tiny and sweet. I stayed home for 3 months. Then my mum took over the care of Lily so I could get back to work. Things seemed to be going great. My husband worked, I worked, and my mom helped with Lily. Then one night he got angry and shouted at me. He told me I wasn't a good wife, and I cried. Things got worse when one day Ryan hit me. I couldn't believe it. I cried all night and I wanted to leave, but I was scared. I went to my parents for help, but they told me to stay with my husband. So, I went back to Ryan and told myself things would get better. I got pregnant again, and this time I had a son named Jake. He looked just like me and I loved him so much. But Ryan didn't even come to the hospital when I gave birth. When I came home, he said, "Why are you here so soon?" I found out Ryan had a girlfriend, and he told me she loved him more than I did. I felt small and unimportant, but I didn't know how to leave. I had no money, and I had 2 children to care for. Then Ryan joined the army and left me with the kids. I cried every day. My father passed away and my mother moved to another country. I felt completely alone. One day Ryan called from the army and said he had found someone new. He told me he was happier with her, and I couldn't believe it. 3 months later, Ryan called again. He said he made a mistake and asked me to take him back. I still loved him, so I agreed. We tried to fix our marriage, but Ryan didn't change. He still hurt me with his words. Now, after 16 years of marriage, Ryan still tries, but he still hurts me with his words. Sometimes I wonder why I forgave him so many times, why I stayed. I'm 33 now, and I'm not the same person I used to be. I'm stronger, but I feel tired. Sometimes I feel like I don't even exist, but I want to believe in a better life for myself and my children. Every morning I wake up early and look at my kids. They are my reason to keep going. Lily is 8 now, and she loves drawing and singing. Jake is 4, and he loves playing with cars and laughing loudly. I tell myself to be strong for them. I make breakfast, pack Lily's lunch, and Jake stays home with me. Some days are really hard. I feel tired and sad, and I ask myself, how did my life become like this? One day, my neighbor Sarah knocked on my door. She smiled and asked if I wanted to come over for tea. I wanted to say no, but I went. I needed someone to talk to. Sarah told me, "You're not alone. I'm here for you." Her words made me cry, and for the first time in a long while, I didn't feel so alone. She gave me an idea. "Why don't you start working from home?" I thought about it. Ryan didn't want me to work outside, but maybe I could do something small. I started baking cakes and selling them. At first, it was hard. I wasn't sure if I could do it, but I worked hard. My cakes were good and people started ordering more. For the first time in years, I felt proud of myself. I thought, I can do this. One day Ryan came home and shouted, "Why are you baking? You don't need to work." I looked at him and said, "I need to do this for me and for the kids. I will not stop." Ryan was shocked. He didn't say anything and I was scared, but I felt strong. Life didn't change overnight and Ryan still gets angry sometimes. But I started setting boundaries. I told him, "I won't let you hurt me anymore. If you hit me again, I will leave." He didn't believe me at first, but I stayed strong. I knew I had to protect myself and my children. I started meeting new people. Sarah introduced me to her friends who were kind and supportive. I began doing things I used to love, like cutting my hair short again and wearing colorful clothes. I finally felt like myself again. Lily said to me, "Mom, you look so happy," and that made me smile. And now I'm thinking about what I want for my future. I want a safe and happy life for my children. I want to feel free. I don't know if Ryan will ever change, but I know I have changed. I'm no longer the scared girl I used to be. I tell myself one day I will find peace. I don't know when, but I believe it will happen. If you're reading my story, I want you to know something. You are strong. You can survive hard times. Don't give up on yourself. I hope my story gives someone hope. If you enjoyed my story, please like, subscribe, and share.